Nationally, rents were up 2% over the past 3 months. Looking over the past year, they're up about 12%. Interestingly, it's actually Sydney and Melbourne and units in Sydney and Melbourne that are leading the charge at the moment. Both Sydney and Melbourne units have seen price increases or rent increases nearly 20% in the past year. Rents are now higher than they were pre-pandemic for units across Sydney and Melbourne. They're about 10% higher in Melbourne. They're a little under 20% higher in Sydney. It does look like we're starting to see some relief in the regions. Rents are actually flat over the past 3 months across the regional areas. They're still up a bit over 6% in the past year, so that's still pretty quick, but signs that things might be starting to cool after 3 pretty challenging years. It's also consistent with what we're seeing in terms of rental availability. We have seen a bit of an increase in rental vacancy rates in regional areas over the past 12 to 18 months. They're still pretty low, still sub 2% in most parts of regional Australia, but they're up from the sub 1% that we were seeing during the pandemic. So it's a bit more choice for renters. It's not as competitive for any given rental, which is the reverse of what we're seeing in, say, Sydney and Melbourne at the moment, where rental vacancy rates, which during the pandemic were actually quite high, particularly in Melbourne, have collapsed and are sitting at extremely low levels. It's very competitive to get a rental across the capital cities at the moment.